Okay, so in the last video we created the document. It's 6 inches by 9 inches, and we can see here in our pages panel that I opened up that we have our master pages here. Those are our page templates, and these are things that will have pages. Within those pages you're going to have elements that are going to show up on many other pages. And then we have our actual pages, and these are the ones that are going to actually print. And so right now we're going to set this document up so that we have our A master. And so I'm going to double click here on our A master, and we can see that I have 2 pages. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit and show these 2 pages. This line right here is the crease in between those 2 pages. You can see I have my margins right here and those 3 columns. These purple lines will not print. They're just kind of there as a guide for us. Okay. Within this A master, I'm actually going to call this and change this name. So I right-clicked on the name and found Master Options. And this one, I'm going to change the name to blank. And that's my prefix is A, but then my name is blank. And we're just not going to base it on any, and then the number of pages is 2. So I just wanted to change the name. It helps me stay organized a little bit. And what I'm going to do right here is kind of a very important thing, which is create a text box. We've got our text box right here. And what I'm going to do is put in a very special little thing that is going to make it so that our document will update the page numbers on all of our pages. And so from here, I'm going to go to Type, and then I'm going to insert a special character. And this one happens to be a marker, is what we call it. And this one's going to be current page number. And so I'm going to click on that. And I want to have it right there. So just as a reminder, if you want to copy something very quickly and easily, you can hold Alt and click and drag. And I'm just going to move this one over to the other corner. And I like to call that the outside corner. So it's away from the fold. And so I'm going to put that there. And what I'm going to do is also take this. Sometimes I like to go to my Essentials Classic to change my view, just so I can change the font fairly quickly, just because there's just the one little bit. So what I'm going to do is look for and try to find, the right justification option. And as you can see, I can't find that here, and so what I'm actually going to do is go to Windows, Type and Tables, and I'm looking for some paragraph options. And that shows up in this window right here. If you end up getting a window that's kind of free-floating like this, just as a reminder, you can dock those. So I'm clicking and dragging until that blue line shows up, and I'll put that right there. And then I'm going to make this right justified. And there you can see that now it stays to the outside of my document. And that's going to be good for this master page, because all I need are those pages. All I need for that on here are the page numbers. And it says A because this is the A master, but it is not a number because it's not actually a number on any of my pages. Then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a new master. So if I right-click here and click New Master, it's going to ask me a few options. I'm going to keep this B right here. I like to call this one the Content Master, and the reason I like to do that is because this is where most of my content's going to go. And then I'm going to change this to A blank right here. And I'm going to base it on this master. So anything that's on the A master, that blank master, is going to show up on the B master, which is my Content Master. And so it's still 2 pages. Everything else should stay the same, so once I hit OK, I'm going to see that I have a new master, and that B shows up because that's on my other master page that this is based on. Okay. Now, this is actually a point where you are ready, if you want to put in and figure out what is the content, where's your content going to go. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put in my rectangular frame tool. I'm going to start with my image, and I'm going to actually go about 2 columns wide, and I'm going to make a document about this big, or the the image about this big. And then what I'm going to do is go to my type tool, and I'm going to put my title right here to be underneath it. We learned in some of those notes earlier this week that we really like to have our text and everything be in line and be the same width as our images. Okay? And then I'm actually going to create another text box over here and try to match up. And I'm trying to line up the bottom there. I'm not going to line up the top, but that gives a little bit of alignment here. Makes it seem a little bit more organized. And so there we go. We've got the bare minimum. If there's anything you want to add, you can. But really, this is for the boxes that you put things into. And so right now I have my two master pages, and that's really all I need. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to actually create pages, and then I'm going to show you how to put text in and what styles are all about.